All right.
I win. Ha. Oh no. Drew can't.
Does it start there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just starts there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, popcorn.
Drew,
Okay.
close the door so we're not disturbed.
Because they can't.
Yeah. Because the sound's going to stop.
I'm a great wizard.
Drew,
Kid
what?
casts
What?
isolate.
What is this?
Yeah, what is this thing called?
This
Popcorn thingy.
Yeah, what is that?
Popcorn tub thing.
Tub?
Yeah, a tub.
Tub? We haven't heard tub yet.
Yeah, tub's
Bag,
different.
sack,
Receptacle.
receptacle, tub.
I
No,
call it the popcorn
there was
box.
a receptacle, a container.
Oh yeah.
Box.
Container,
It's
box.
I'm
sticking with blocks
Popcorn
now.
scrotum.
I call it the voluptuosity.
Kip has gained. Cool hat.
Oh, okay.
I call it...
That's superior to your seatbelt cap.
Well, like, regardless, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it's a
seafoam
phallic
club.
image.
Yeah, you're right. You're
So-
right.
Yeah.
Not to mention the microphone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So are
except
you
that
guys
this is
reading-
obviously not a man's penis because it listens.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
It would be good
Who's
except-
starting?
Benjamin, start off.
Only
Alright,
this is a
alright,
phallic
everyone
image.
shut up.
because-
Shut up.
Yeah,
Ben,
'cause we're reading-
Trevor, if you
Wait.
can't be quiet and you can.
This is a lovely novel novella named HHHHHHHHHHHHHH. All caps. Otherwise known as.
I thought it was.
Well, it's different interpretation. Benjamin, go for it.
Dobby relished his groin saw's roar as he withdrew the flesh-choked blade from the astronaut's ruined skull.
He turned to Harry, thrusting his bloody, retina-covered pelvis with elfin fervor.
How does Ronnie Ron taste, Master?
Harry spat out an eyeball.
Like some kid with eyes.
Dobby ducked an astronaut's poison-barbed fist, digging his groin saw into the beast's abdomen and letting the spray of viscera wash over his elfin space armor.
The skull's eye sockets on his shoulders grew brilliant with an infernal cast and vomited a bolt of light through an astronaut. He was thrown back against the death wall, his flesh boiling in another dimension.
Harry slapped Dobby, who giggled. Harry reminded himself to kill himself later.
Master, look out! Dobby's groin saw screamed as it flew off the armor, rocketing through the air like an early dream of mankind.
It flew through 3 astronauts, who dropped their hell spears as they saw, cut a hole in the ground beneath them, so they fell to hell, and the demonic spheres rape them to this day, boys and girls.
And that was just page 1.
Chapter 1.
That was chapter. Oh, this is chapter 2 now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
There's a
7
lot of good
chapters.
imagery
Yeah, how many
already.
chapters are there?
7.
You can just say it.
No, I can't.
We're alive.
It defeats the illusion of microphone.
Chapter 2 of. Anyways, now, Dobby.
Dobby knelt before his master.
Harry withdrew his guitar, Fuck Slayer, from a dimension where all screamed for naught.
Wrought from the silver heart of heaven's false promise, laced with vessels that pulsed with angels' menstrual blood, hewn from the horns of Satan's generals, it laughed as it was set loose, a laugh that only Harry could hear, but no one could share.
Harry swung the guitar through Dobby's chicken neck. Oh.
He took the head of his fallen dwarf slave and tore it open, his stomach stuffing the head inside. Oops. Harry vomited steam and summoned a great meteor from space to smash into Hogwarts and kill everyone there, for no reason at all.
A vision then appeared. It was Dumbledore, entombed in accursed mummy armor, causing Harry from his moon base, which wasn't on the moon.
Harry, you must rock the fuck out.
Harry channeled his rage through Foxslayer. The angel blood boiled as he summoned the great meteor, swathed with the blood of the tiny fucklings at Hogwarts, leapt onto it and flew into space.
He encased the entire meteor in a wreath of holy fuck fire and flew through Mercury, killing the fuck out of it.
Then he sent Mercury's carcass into Venus, killing the fuck out of it, and making every vagina in the galaxy explode. And inside every vagina, a booby sang of mortal life's fleeting precipice.
Harry then did his fly. No. Harry then did fly his meteor through space, punching astral vampires in half with his fists encased in fuck fire and throwing their ruined heads into the past where they bit cavemen on Mars, so that history changed and now there are vampires and cavemen on Mars.
Harry received another vision from Fumblegore, who was having tea and crumpets with the president of Pangaea.
Care to have tea, Harry?
You know I hate trumpets. And that was chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Oh,
There's
this...
a lot of imagery so
Yeah.
far. It's actually
There's
really good.
let's have a slight break for the resident critic here.
Yes, critic.
My name is Drew Maione. I read a lot of this sort of fan fiction. It's really interesting, actually. This time, you see fuck Slayer, and you automatically think, well, it's a phallic image, right? 'Cause
We
you have the
discussed
body of
that in the pre-program notes.
Oh,
if
okay, you know exactly what I'm
read
talking.
them.
Because it's sort of like you got the body of the guitar, then the neck. I'm interested to see how it pans out.
Yeah, I think it's very phallic image.
Right. It's even circumcised too. If you think about like.
I thought it was a Transylvanian image for Cambodian Ethiopians myself.
Right. That would have occurred
You see,
to me.
but that's just on the surface. Deep down, there is a very subtle
Can I get a citation for
Marxo feminist critiquing lens.
I think that we're going to have to stop there, boys.
But we
It's
didn't talk
interesting.
about
It is... We will get there in time. But now, we have to move on to chapter
I'm
3.
interested to see how it turns out.
I believe we all are. Don't you think that we are? Well, we are. We are. Okay.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
You guys are reading this beautifully.
Harry slammed his book shut. It wasn't really a book because the pages were made out of lasers and the words were made out of headless women making godless love to dragons made out of motorcycles, but it was still reading.
Dumbledore, if you don't stop, we'll starve, and no one will be around to kill everyone in the universe if we get around to bringing everyone back to life after we killed them.
I am no longer Scumblegort.
The ancient man dropped some of the planets he was juggling.
The worlds have shifted. I am Dumblecop of the Dark Meal.
He flexed one of his legs, which was made of pistols, and kicked a planet in half.
Bugger your dark meal, faggart of 1,000 suns.
Dumblecop sniffed.
And what of it? No, is it a sin? Should a man feel like foggarting a sun or 1,000? Why should the suns heave through the void, if not be skewered by pawn or flagpoles?
Harry cast a glance at the book. Unsavory sounds emanated from a particularly damned chapter. He was hungry. He looked at a nearby cup. It had a faded brown film on the bottom. He thought about trumpets.
Which he does hate. He does hate trumpets.
We'll find more about that in chapter 4.
And chapter 4.
I think actually, well, you're probably right, he does hate, but I think there is some ambiguity there left on purpose by the author
Right.
to imply a sort of...
What does the word hate mean?
Yeah, what's the condescension of the...
But really, did they make love? Or was it just the sound of a waterfall?
It's interesting that Sam mentions that because, a lot of the stuff in this chapter, like things made out of things. What does that leave you with?
Right,
Dragons made out of motorcycles, right? A leg made out of pistols.
Which he was able to cut a planet in half with. I might add.
existential comment on
Actually,
his-
it's interesting. It was kick a planet in half, which might indicate some sort of child abuse.
Yeah.
Leg movement may
Right,
have been involved.
Yeah.
But the leg was made of pistols, so it would have
Right.
been...
So it wasn't. Let's just be clear for our listeners.
Right.
Sorry, it wasn't actually a leg because it was made. Most legs are not made out of. Well,
That's a very good
But
point.
then I have to say,
You're
what
right,
makes
yeah.
a leg?
Not pistols. But they
You
said it
can't-
was a
you
leg
can't
made
just say
from-
that.
Right, yeah,
You can't just
you
say
have
that.
to be
That's
sensitive
true.
to
I was
people who,
insensitive.
like bugs have multi-jointed legs. You have, that's
Right.
not what we typically define as a leg.
We
Right,
have
what-
to be correctly Obama here. So
Right.
Right, you're right. Absolutely right.
Who says we can live in a president?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good point,
that
actually.
bears saying.
Let's keep reading. I think it'll all
Alright.
become...
Harry had found some food. It was guarded by 3 in a million thousand surf ninjas, for it was the last food on the surf ninja moon X.
The ecology had been decimated by surf ninjas, so the last food was a cabbage and mustard sandwich.
Harry squatted in the ruins of a castle, which had been many skulls arranged to resemble one large one.
It had been poorly done, with the cheeks fading into an amateurishly executed jawline.
The silent killers of the night had negated their innate advantage by only plying their craft on surfboards during the day.
Harry was about to eat his cabbage witch when a man in a tuxedo appeared from behind nothing much. He stood 10 feet tall and his head seemed wrapped in unwrappable darkness.
I am Rape Radberry. I write critically acclaimed fiction that always turns into fact. That's why I have more money than anyone.
Harry dug a bit of cartilage out of the cabbage witch and continued chewing.
Would you care to discuss one of my books? I hear that my...
Harry fished out another bit of cartilage. It was a cartilage and mustard sandwich.
You shouldn't believe what everyone says about me. I took a shower with my cousin once, and I have racist thoughts. A nibbit of yellow cartilage landed on Rape's shoe. He thought about his cousin.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I
I'm
personally have
thinking about my
three things.
cousin.
I want to.
Let's do a quick.
I want readers to.
we got not a lot of time here.
They're just things I want. Listeners
Put them
to
all
think
into
about.
one.
Right, well, that's important.
One word, Drew. What do
One
you
word.
want readers
One
to
word.
hear?
3 points in one word, please. Please.
Triangle.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
probably
you.
right, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's
Drake
actually
Drew.
exactly
Moving on to
Wow.
chapter 5. We are now in chapter 5.
Where did you-
Viewers.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Harvard.
Oh wait. Shh. We're moving on.
Right, yes, you're right.
The Inquisitors were torturing Harry.
First, Ignatius used the rock.
Then Billy asked if Harry, then asked Harry if he wanted to read his BDSM blog.
Harry was so surprised that his pants flew right off.
He was wearing women's underpants.
The Inquisitors were wearing them too.
They realized they were all men of the Lord.
Oh Lord, aren't we all?
Why do you think this was such a short chapter?
Let's move on. I think
I feel like that's all that they said everything they needed to say.
Yeah.
What is the point in elaborating on such
It's sort
on
of
such
like
a direct point?
Inspired by haiku, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Women's underwear is a common Japanese theme.
There was a very distinct.
people in here.
We are
joined
not
by
people.
guest author
We are
Karen
men of the
Schrecker.
Lord.
Men of the
Wearing women's underwear.
Okay. Chapter 6.
Right. This is a much longer chapter.
Yes. Harry awoke to the throaty grumble of a rape ape.
Not a rape ape, but the rape ape, the last of his kind after the subjugation of the rape forest.
His people once graced the canopy with their penile digits, proudly grasping the vines as they swung through the night, their hundreds of sweaty simian dongs trailing a now fetid memory in the rape ape's watering eye.
As his ocular ducts began to well with ancestral pride, so did the countless meaty members sprouting from the rape ape's every hairy inch.
From his eye sockets, ear holes, even his calloused toes, a penile font of cry juice birthed a deluge.
Harry observed this with consternation as she was tied to a table. Neither magic nor supracosmic strength would free him from his bonds.
Had this creature access to an unknown material of disic strength? Or did the rape ape have a secret, yet more baffling?
Harry squinted so he could see the subatomic strings of the ropes. He began tossing antimatter at them, with his mind as a group of children entered the rape ape's hiding place.
They were well groomed and impeccably attired, and there were 5.8 of them, just enough to represent an array of genders and races that would leave no one unhappy, save for the Eskimos.
They were on their own, as far as the rape ape was concerned.
Why do you cry, rape ape? Asked child 3.2.
The rape ape, unwilling to hide its greasy primate cock tears, hung its head, and gravity coaxed the eye-wangers downward. It tied them together into a bow atop its head to be pretty for its guests.
We are bound in this ligature of lingam, brother rape ape, said child 4.6.
The children surrounded the rape ape, holding their hands, and began to sing.
Harry was transfixed as he watched the children gently swaying with the song Float Skyward.
The little ones began to orbit the rape ape, who was convulsing as though stricken by the seize your devil.
As the song increased in tempo, the child flesh bubbled and merged into a spinning wonder turbine.
The fleshy kid mass sprouted hair and groin dribblers just like the rape ape, and sprayed confetti into the skies of past and future, setting the constellations aflame with the opalescent of the perished rape apes.
An explosion of color and hair left Harry Potter alone and still bound. He thought about sandwiches.
He did, yeah.
That he did.
That chapter
That spoke to
affects
me.
me so deeply.
You know, as a child, I remember reading this and just crying, but not knowing why, and I feel like I know why. Now.
I remember the first time I heard about the rape apes. It was in this story. I mean, I think we all in this room have this deep connection, especially to this chapter.
I would encourage our viewers and listeners everywhere to donate to Rape Ape Charitable Fund,
which is a charitable fund charity that chariots to carrots and rape apes.
Which we will have a link
to
in the description. Yes, so please look there. Moving on to chapter 7, which is the final chapter
Or,
in.
as some like to say, the chapter after the penultimate.
Yes.
I'm not sure what that means,
Post-penultimate.
but we will keep moving.
Yes.
Yes.
Harry Potter awoke in a pit that reeked of hot sauce.
He could feel viscous fluid under his fingernails, burning the tender skin.
Everywhere were white bags, bulging with foul product.
They were diapers stuffed with chicken bones and hot sauce, their foul odor blossoming in the muffled dark.
Harry's nostrils begged his brain for mercy.
He flew upwards, away from the saucy mysteries below.
The smell grew faint, calling him to return.
Harry ignored their lies, flying beyond their lips of his prison.
He was in a laboratory with machines that had no purpose beyond blinking lights and soft hums.
Hello, my boy, son. You make a father so good.
Harry had flown out the nose of an old man. This man wore a white coat, yet was drawn by the hand of an idiot.
His voice came not from his mouth, but from elsewhere, a sad attempt at humanity!
I know you'll do so well. Now you choose.
Now, you choose.
The man reached into his coat and laid out 3 diapers, each brimming with spicy bones of the nose prison.
He removed his head and stuck it on a spike on the counter to keep it from rolling away.
The diapers began to stir as creatures clawed out of bony wombs.
Arrayed before Harry was a turtle, the reptilian body so frail that it seemed an afterthought to the shell, a bald weasel with toothpicks for legs, and a wrinkled thumb in a glass of water.
The old man's head called out from the spike.
Everyone has one! Make your best friends for life!
Harry drank the glass of thumb water and spat the thumb at the old man's head.
Quite. That concludes our story for today.
Very nice conclusion.
It is a very nice conclusion.
The choice,
the
I
overarching
think, is...
storyline of him thinking almost exclusively about sandwiches for the first 6 chapters.
But that-
And
then
that's
having
actually a
this
very interesting point.
conversation.
I was at a panel that the author of was at, and I asked this question of why such orientation towards sandwiches, and all they could do was answer.
Well, it's interesting how one of the things you never see is a story like this, carrying that obsession with one subject, but altering the setting so many times.
That's the truth. A lot of fan fictions concentrate on the middle part of the story, which is what they should really be concentrating on, is the beginning and the end, because those are the parts the audience remember. And that is not to diminish the role of the middle part of the story, but it is definitely showing superior craftsmanship.
Yes.
Making them come together, cohesion in the story.
I don't know if I haven't been paying attention, but I don't think we've discussed the importance of the choice at the end of the turtle.
Yeah. Now
and-
you choose.
Yes, but aren't we all men of the Lord?
That's
Wearing
true.
women's
Yes.
underwear, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and we all must make that choice between the turtle, the bald weasel, and a wrinkled thumb and a glass of water.
Just be tied to a table and be okay with
And may I quote Tony Stark from the of the Avengers? I'm sorry. Doth mother know that she weareth her drapes? Which I believe is a quote from Shakespeare in the Park.
No, I believe it was Morgan Freeman in his ass.
I'm pretty sure that was Sylvester Stallone in Clubber Lang 5, The Revenge.
Both of them actually.
I feel like I said that in a dream once.
I thought it was
Maybe.
all of your love
I
child.
watched a Godzilla movie once and heard that.
Yeah.
I watched a Godzilla movie.
Well, it's Shakespearean, so it's probably very
Watched.
Oh, we need a jingle.
Oh yeah. Miss Bradley, can we have 3 words, please?
3 words.
Yes.
Pickle.
Okay.
Sawdust.
Sawdust.
And cup.
Well, you guys have
Cup?
you guys have a great creative department here.
Okay. Pickle, sawdust, and cup.
I put my sawdust in a cup and now I'm in a pickle. Hey.
Oh, that's good.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay. Count us off.
A 1, a 2, a skiddly doodly doo. I put my sawdust in a cup and now I'm in a pickle. Hey, hey. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yay! What's that?
Go upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's time to go upstairs.
All right.
Good work, boys.
We're done now.
Yeah, it recorded the whole time.
Yay!
Good gerb.
I peed in your pool.
I peed in your pool.